In this episode, we will explore the fascinating dynamics of energies and vibrations and how understanding them can strengthen your marital bond. Learn how tuning in and managing these energies can lead to better communication, deeper empathy, and a more harmonious relationship. We're going to discover the importance of energy transfer and the impact of sharing a bed with your partner. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Intuitive Marriage Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy that you found me. I'm an intuitive marriage mentor, and I help guide couples to be more self-aware, to use their intuition to create a deeper, more soulful connection with their partners. So welcome. Today, we're going to explore the intriguing topic of energies and vibrations and how understanding these concepts can significantly enhance your marital connection. So, I'm all about this, all about energies and vibrations. So I'm hoping that you guys, if you are here, you're absolutely into this as well. So before I get started today, it's been a bit of a week. Holy moly. Holy shit. Let's just go there. Fuck the holy moly. Holy shit. So I had a fantastic week. We've had lots going on. Unfortunately, my incredible husband had a mishap with the barbecue and very badly burnt the top of his foot with hot grease. It was not a good thing. So he is sort of on the mend, but he is basically immobile. He's not supposed to be moving around too much right now while it's healing. And it's just been a busy week. And during all of this, on this past Monday, June 24th, I turned 53. So he had this surprise birthday party all set up, and my daughter had helped arrange it. It was just incredible. He's a beautiful soul, and I was absolutely blessed and grateful for everybody that showed up, and the amount of people that I got some love from that day was just incredible. So it was just a beautiful, beautiful, busy, crazy week. So here I am, I have late diagnosis ADHD at 52 late last year. So here I am, recording this at the final hour, right? Well, not quite. I'm trying to get a little more organized, and I apologize. There may be some noises in the background. I will see what I will edit tonight, where I get to. If you hear pages turning or, some noises, I do apologize, but I don't really want to spend a bunch of hours editing this. So I will definitely try to keep it as clean as possible. So I'm in the prairies, and this evening is just absolutely gorgeous out. It's 20 degrees Celsius. It's overcast, but there's sort of a bit of a rainy type of a smell outside, a feel to the air. It's a little bit of a cooler breeze. Just beautiful. Mosquitoes haven't come out yet. And I was just outside with our dog Sylvie, and it was just beautiful. Walking in the grass with my bare feet. Oh, I just love living in the country. I can hear the cows mooing and, a horse neighing across the street. So it was pretty nice. I actually had the window open. I was listening to the birds singing and thought that would be nice while I'm recording. And then there's, I guess, some, backyard neighbors are taking their, I don't know, quad or their dirt bike for a ride. So it was just getting a little bit too noisy. So I figured that would be a little bit disrespectful for you folks, for you guys listening. So I just thought I'd close the window. Anyways, enough of that. Enough of me and my week. How's everybody been? I hope everybody's doing well. And this week, we're going to talk about something that I absolutely obsess over. I love it. I love it. Is energies and vibrations. So if you are here, you obviously have, I'm going to assume that you have some knowledge and interest, at least in the vibrational energy whole thing, right? That whole genre. Have you ever entered a space and immediately felt a shift in your mood? Like you can just absolutely read the room, or sensed your partner's emotional state without words being said or exchanged? Nothing. You just know. These experiences are tied to the energies and vibrations that surround us. We all sort of have an energy field, right? Understanding these elements can profoundly benefit your marriage. Now, where am I getting my information from? The one book I have read, well, I've read a few, but this one really stands out for me. And it's called Becoming Supernatural. And it's How Common People Do the Uncommon by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And it is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So, everything around us, including our bodies, is composed of energy that vibrates at various frequencies. So he goes through all of this. Now, this energy isn't solely physical, it encompasses our emotional and spiritual realms as well. And in a marriage, the energies and vibrations that each partner brings to the table basically plays a crucial role in the relationship, the dynamics of the relationship. So, which is just super interesting to me. Now, he talks about, like, in the book, let me see here. You're going to hear me flipping through some pages. This book is is well loved, and it has like coffee spilt all over it. I have notes. I have sticky notes. Oh, goodness me. Okay. So on page 243 of this book, I'm going to say it one more time, Becoming Supernatural. How common people are doing the uncommon. Now, he goes through this chart, and it's from thought to energy to matter, which is all about manifestation, which I just absolutely love. And one of these days, I'm going to do a whole episode on that as well. I'd love to have do some interviews. There's some amazing people out there that are right in that space as well, that just have had some incredible things happen to them. And I've manifested everything I am and where I am right now, I believe. It's been super incredible. But basically, the positive emotions that we have are the high vibrations, the high frequencies. So the high vibrations, they correspond to positive emotions like love, joy, peace. When you fall in love, you're like excited, you're on top of the world. It's like you could have pain and you just don't feel it because your vibration is so high. You just feel good. Everything is just firing at a much higher frequency. While low vibrations align with the negative emotions, such as anger, fear, sadness. Now, the energy you bring into your interactions directly influences the atmosphere and the quality of your relationship. So, are you setting the tone? Are you setting the energy in your relationship? And what does that look like for you? He refers to this chart here, Dr. Joe Dispenza, page 243, from thought to energy to matter. So it's a pretty interesting chart. There's a lot involved, so I'm not going to go into it too much because it'll get really confusing if you're not actually looking at it. But basically, it goes from matter is at the bottom, which is like the lowest vibration, right? Pain, lust. Then we get into form. So it's like kind of like a little bit, a little bit moving. The waves are a little bit more. Then you have like the shame, the guilt, the fear. And then you have the patterns. Now that kind of starts to go down as well as going up. That's where you have anger, control, power, will, speed of light. There's actually, there's a gap where it is speed of light. And then it goes into energy, which is like gratitude, appreciation. And you can see the frequencies going like crazy. And thought and conscious is way up there with love, joy, freedom, bliss, wholeness. And that's the goal, right? Is, I mean, you cannot be in high vibration all the time. That's just ridiculous. We do have emotions, we do have moods and things, but I find I'm aware of it. And like, for example, this week, it's been a really busy week, a lot of emotions. I've had, my work as a youth care support worker that can get very, it can get depleted on my energy. And so when that happens, I this week I've been in a little bit of a low vibration. Nothing really negative, but I just feel less motivated, I guess. I just feel less, I like my brain needs to take a break. And so I take that as that's what my brain needs. Now, if it continues, then I'm aware of it. And I try to my best to stay on top of things like that with my mental health. And then I'm like, okay, well, I need to do something to raise my vibration. So that's when I'll be, you know what? Let's play some music. Let's sing some karaoke. Do something that's a little fun. Maybe do some gaming with my husband, right? Something that's fun. It's going to make us laugh or get frustrated at the game and relieve some stress, right? Whatever is needed. Or I just need to have a bubble bath to cleanse and rejuvenate. And I'm very aware of my vibration and my energy levels. So, and usually I understand that that's usually a key for me to take a breath, right? That's okay. That's good. It's good to understand where we're at. So please take a look at this book. It is so incredibly fascinating. This is not a sponsored podcast. I mean, maybe one day that would be fantastic. But he goes into time, space, and space, time, and time, space. Just fascinating. The pineal gland, and how our thoughts are, and turning in higher dimensions, the pineal gland as a transducer. I warned in the very beginning that this might get a little woo-woo. But there's some stuff here. There's like some studies and patterns, and I just find it super fascinating. And he goes into talking about, emotional regulation. And I'm very much about that. And that's sort of where that is. I have lived a past with very high anxiety, high fear, and just sort of in that always that fight or flight feeling, right? When things aren't going right with a relationship and it's scary, or things are just not right, or you have a job that you're not really comfortable in, but you feel the pressure. And, I was an athlete. There was a lot of pressure there. There was a lot of anxiety there. So I lived in a high state of anxiety. I felt always running, always chasing, always, in some sort of sales position from time to time as well, where you're chasing a quota, you're chasing a deadline, you're chasing a leaderboard, and it just felt like I was always in this state of like just irregular. My emotions were all over the place, you know? And it's really interesting because he also talks about this that I've learned when I took my coaching course through Health Coach Institute, and I became a health coach as well as a life coach. And in the health coach portion, you learn about this, right? And I just found it so fascinating because it just sort of made sense. I don't know. I guess I wasn't paying attention in biology. But you have two subsystems, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system, when switched on, regulates the body's unconscious actions and responses, such as increased breathing, elevated heart rate, excessive perspiration, and dilation of the pupils, and so on. So its primary function is to stimulate the fight or flight response. So when real or perceived danger is imminent, this system works to protect us in our outer environment. So we often live in that sort of state, right? Oh, like, are we going to be able to pay the next bill? Am I going to meet my next quota? What's happening with the kids? There's just always seems to be, depending on where you are in your life, have to reach that next goal, have a deadline, all the things. And we feel like we're chasing and running and, that we're always behind. We're never where we're supposed to be. But in reality, we are exactly where we're supposed to be. We just seem to be programmed to feel that way. You know, I'm so used to be a part of the hustle culture and sales and direct sales, and it's just too much. I personally just am not wired that way. It was overstimulating for me, and I just felt dysregulated all the time in that type of environment. So let's talk about now the parasympathetic nervous system. That complements the sympathetic nervous system in that it performs the exact opposite functions. Now, its role is to conserve energy, relax the body, and slow the high energy functions of the sympathetic system. So, once I knew what that was all about and the tools that you can use to quite quickly regulate yourself, regulate your systems, I started implementing them in daily life. And I still do to this day. I often have social anxiety. I don't normally appear that way because people say I'm quite social, but actually, um, I'd really honestly rather be by myself. I'm actually quite an introvert. I'm like an extroverted introvert. I don't know how you say that, but I get social anxiety, and I'm conscious of what I'm saying and what I'm doing, and then I go back and always question myself. And of course, not as much as I used to. That is, I give way less fucks now as an adult, but still, I'm always, conscious of I guess my behavior, or yeah, just sometimes it's the energy. Honestly, it's I can feel great, and then I walk into a situation and I can feel the energy, and then it sort of will put me off a bit, or I can just sort of feel different when there's, I don't know, just unaligned people, I guess, around. It's hard to say, but it's just honestly, it's just an energy that I feel. And sometimes it's overwhelming. And I have really learned over the years how to protect my energy, but it's never foolproof. Um, but I am always aware of it. So let me know, like, send me a DM on Instagram. I don't have a lot of followers. We're very new on there, but I'm at the Intuitive Marriage Podcast, and let me know what you think about that, because I'd love to know. I'd love to know, like, what do you know about these systems, and how do you regulate yourself if you feel that you're sort of out of control, right? Anyways, I sort of have kind of gone off trail here, but I just am fascinated with all of this stuff. And then he goes into like the pineal gland and all that. I won't even go into all of that because that's a whole other episode. Um, and maybe I'll do that someday. I just think that's fascinating stuff. So go check out his book. Again, it is, and like I said, it's not a paid, sponsored ad or anything like that. I just really am fascinated by this book, and it's called Becoming Supernatural: How Common People Are Doing the Uncommon by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay, so let's talk about the impact of energies on your relationship. Now, recognizing and attuning to your own and your own partner's energies can lead to numerous benefits. First one, I believe, is heightened empathy. By tuning into your partner's energy, you can better comprehend their emotional state without them needing to articulate it. This increased empathy enables you to offer support more effectively. So you just feel more in tune to your partner. You get. It's like you just kind of I get you. I get it. It's like I often say to my husband, like, you're in my head, like, get out of my head. Because we both say the same thing or we're feeling the same way, or I pick up something that he's feeling and he's like, what the hell? Right. Like, and it still kind of shocks us, but we just are more and more like, hey, it's just the way it is. And we are accepting of it and we kind of play around with it now. It's a lot of fun. The second one is enhanced communication. So that's definitely one of the benefits. Being aware of the energy that you bring into the conversation. So like I said earlier, what energy are you setting the stage in your relationship or where you are? When you bring a positive energy into a conversation, it helps with more of a receptive interaction, right? A positive interaction with your partner. So that leads to more productive and loving communication. So instead of, feeling like sometimes you're just really not getting each other and you're not getting, there's just a misfiring of communication. And then it's sort of like you're like, "Ugh, never mind. Like you're not getting it, right?" And it can be frustrating. And I get it. No relationship is perfect. We've all had our moments and we still have our moments where you're like, wait a minute, I don't think we're on the same page here and I'm not getting quite what you're saying. And so sometimes we're like, okay, that's cool. Let's just agree to disagree, or, let's go in a little deeper and I want to understand your point of view and you understand my point of view and, where were we coming from there? So, and that's kind of fun too. And sometimes it's not. So it's just like, whatever. Like I said, you just agree to, kiss each other and love each other, but, we're not going to agree on this one and that's okay. Um, So another one is better emotional management. So here again, just being aware of your own energetic state. Where are you? Where's your energy? That helps in regulating your emotions. And if you sense you're in a lower vibrational state, you can take steps to elevate your mood before engaging with your partner. So, that can prevent some unnecessary conflicts, correct? If you know you're in a pissy mood, don't bring that shit to the table. Like, just don't. Go have a shower, go for a walk, go have a vent session with your girl, like you're with your girlfriend, whatever you need to do. But don't bring that shitty attitude to the table just because you're in a lower vibration. Now, I'm not saying that you can't share how you're feeling, but then share how you're feeling. Say, hey, like I'm just, I even said to him tonight, excuse me, I'm just in a lower vibration like today for sure. And, I think I understand why. And, we talk about it and is everything okay? And is there anything he can do? And we just have a lot going on. And at least he understands. And I feel like he understood me. Right. And sometimes it's just nice just to let each other know that, hey, I may not be my nice, smiley, warm, fuzzy self today, but it's not about you. I maybe had a day and this is about that communication piece as well. You communicate, you understand each other. So just take those steps to reduce your mood if it's in a very low state of vibration so that you're just not, just leave your shit behind a little bit. So another one is stronger connection. You're definitely going to have a stronger connection. Sharing your high vibrational state with your husband, with your wife, is going to foster a deeper emotional and spiritual bond. So when you both are energetically aligned, it will create a sense of unity and harmony in the relationship, which is amazing, which is what we're all going for. I believe we all want a stronger, deeper connection. We all want to understand our partner better and ourselves. And this is huge. This is another one. You're going to benefit immensely by having effective tools to use when a conflict has arisen. Has arisen? Has arised? No, that doesn't make sense. Effective conflict resolutions? How's that? Let's just put it that way. So you're going to have some tools in your pocket to be able to be more mindful of the dynamics, like your energetic dynamics during conflicts. So which can definitely add to it or de-escalate the tensions of what's happening in that conversation. So recognizing and adjusting the energies at play when you're in the moment, when you're in the heat of the moment, and it's really hard to bite your tongue, just take a breath. Take a breath and find that calmer self and have a more constructive resolution process. You don't have to resolve that issue right then and there. Decide what works. My husband and I, we need to take a moment. I need to digest what has happened. If we have something that we've said to each other and we need to kind of go, okay, well, how did I play my part in that? What did I say that I may have triggered him? What did he say? How did that trigger me? And sometimes we're okay. We can talk about it right then and there. And we get it. And we understand. We move on. And sometimes things are a little more spicy. And we just need to take a moment and figure out our shit. And usually it's within a very short period of time, we come to each other and go, hey, and we are both accountable for our part in that conversation. And then we have a much constructive way of, getting through that conflict, I guess, resolving that conflict, right? Or that disagreement, whatever it is that's gone on. And another one is, I love this one, the energy transfer and physical closeness. So the energy transfer between partners is absolutely vital. Sharing a bed. So I'm very much about sharing a bed with your partner. I understand there's times when people are snoring and, you need to get some sleep. I get it. I totally get it. But really do try to spend time together in a bed because you are transferring your energy. It allows for that nightly exchange of hours. Hopefully you sort of have the same sleep schedule. I spend a couple of nights away from my husband a week because of my job. And that's difficult. It won't be like that forever, but for now it works. And it gives us a little bit of a break, but we do definitely miss that energy transfer. He says the house is very different when I'm not here. And of course, I'm busy at work with different energies going on, but I definitely notice the absence of him when I'm in bed trying to sleep, right? I believe that nightly transfer of your energy just reinforces your bond and promotes your intimacy. Sleeping together helps synchronize your vibrations, and that fosters a much stronger connection as well. I think I've mentioned this in probably at least one other episode, is we have our moment where my husband and I will just like hug, embrace, and we put our foreheads together. And we just sort of, I know it sounds weird, like we kind of not really inhale each other, but we just kind of just sit hugging and absorb each other's energy. And he really calms me. He has a very, very calming, gentle energy. So when I'm a little more, frazzled, maybe need to kind of come down a little bit, or my energy needs to perk up a little bit. He seems to be able to balance me, and I can feel it just from the energy transfer that we have, which is just such an incredible thing. If you experience it, you absolutely understand what I'm saying. And if you haven't yet, then look forward to making it happen. There's so many things that really, really do help with tuning into the energies in your vibrations, but I picked 6 of the top that works for myself. For the most part, these are incorporated into our lives daily. Um, there might be one or two that's like weekly, depending on sort of what, the priority and how that works in your life. But I'm going to share with you 6 practical ways to tune into your energies and your vibrations. Number 1, mindfulness and meditation. Please tell me you meditate, or at least attempt to meditate. It is absolutely essential in order to hear your inner self. Meditation, I believe, is an absolute must. Now, meditation doesn't necessarily have to be sitting like right? Like we think that we have to, quieten our mind and there's like 15,000 thoughts going through, and it's like every thought's like a subway going by, and you just are like, what in the hell? Like you cannot sit still. You cannot calm your brain. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I keep hitting the mic. You cannot calm your brain. And you're like, and I'm supposed to empty my brain and empty my mind. Like, how does that fucking work? It doesn't happen like that. And myself, hello, Miss ADHD over here, that is like an absolute nightmare. My ears are screaming like in the silence and my brain is on fire. Um, please let me know if you can relate. I have to do sort of in different ways. I enjoy like walking out in nature, which I haven't done in a while, which I really need to do. But walking outside, just even in my backyard, in my bare feet and looking up at the sky, being in nature is I find very, very therapeutic for me. It's like my own type of meditation. I have a bubble bath, a hot bubble bath, and that is another form of my meditation. I think I've also mentioned this often. I have my like little galaxy lights. I know, I'm not 12, but they are so cool. I love them. And they help relax me, and I find bright lights burn my brain. So absolutely, that's a cleanse for me. That's a meditation. Often come up with what I think are fantastic thoughts when I'm having my meditative bath. And I just love listening to lo-fi beats, like just kind of chill music. Um, it distracts part of my brain so I can focus. So if I'm writing or if I'm reading, I usually have something on in the background, and that is very meditative to me. Or, I just try to focus in on something that I find interesting. It could even be a leaf. It could be like a flaw in the wall, and just focus on something, and you'll find that in time, your mind will eventually get used to being able to quiet down quicker, if that makes sense. So, yeah, so engaging in mindfulness and meditation, it helps you become more aware of your energetic state. Regular check ins with yourself allow you to notice shifts in your energy and take steps to align with higher frequencies. So, there was a really cool tool that I learned through one of the many bonus coaching courses that I have taken over the last 3 years. This was fantastic. It was about clarity coaching and spirituality. And one of the things I still have on my phone today is I have an alarm 3 times a day that goes off in the morning, lunchtime, and then the evening. And it says, be here now. What that does for me is it makes me stop and think, okay, where was I thinking? Was I thinking in my past? Was I thinking in the future? Where am I right now? What am I doing? So I kind of do all the senses, and do I smell anything? Am I tasting anything? Like, what am I seeing right now? What am I doing? And it just brings me back into the now, the present moment. and I get to live in that moment and just be more mindful with where I am. So, and I find that I do that much more often now than I ever used to because of these practices. So, another one is number two would be energy clearing practices. We like to, well, my husband actually doesn't because he has asthma and it affects his breathing. So I try to do it when he's not here, but I like to smudge. I also use crystals or sound baths can clear energy, your negative energy from your environment. Like just say what you need to say your positive affirmations, say your little prayers, your rituals, your spells, whatever it is that you're wanting, your thoughts, your intentions, and just create a more positive and harmonious space for you and your partner. Maybe you want to make your bedroom a nice sanctuary. Well, maybe you have a bunch of clutter in there and it doesn't feel very sexy when you're in there and the energy feels heavy and you've just got a pile of laundry on your bed and it's just like, ugh, clean that shit up. Clean it up, make it nice, make it sexy, make it fun, and then clean the energy. Make it feel good. And do that together. Maybe turn your living room into a cool hangout. We sort of have this fun kind of a space that we call our living room now because none of our kids live here anymore. So we turned our garage into a living space. And it's sort of like we can kind of turn into a funky karaoke lounge. Oh my God, we are so in our 50s. But it's fun. It's almost like we have like candlelight karaoke. We have a bazillion candles going. We have the darker colors. We have some neon lights sometimes. Like we just try to have fun with it. And that's all it is. You know, have some fun spaces that you like to hang out with your spouse with. Number three, for us, this isn't really an everyday thing because I think this can kind of get over. It can be too much, I think. But regular emotional check ins. So set aside some time for regular emotional check ins with each other. Discuss with each other how you're both feeling. Are you having any energetic shifts? If you speak to each other that way, which most people don't, go, hey, honey, are you having an energetic shift right now? Oh, I just love all this woo woo talk, but sometimes I'm like, I listen to it back and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, that's my audience is going to be like, you're funny. Anyways, you get what I mean. Like, are you having mood swings? How are you feeling? Are you bitchy? Did I piss you off today? No, not quite like that, but you get it. Just check in with each other. If you've noticed that maybe your partner seems like they're down or they're really excited. Well, like, why are you excited? Be excited for them, right? Try to match their energy and if it's low, then try to bring them up. But this practice, it just encourages open communication and mutual support, really. You're going to understand each other a little better. And I kind of touched base on this one earlier, but positive affirmations and intentions. So use positive affirmations and set intentions to elevate your energy. So focusing on love and gratitude, joy, all those wonderful happiness feelings that can help maintain a high vibrational state. Do you write a gratitude journal? I often, not daily, I usually journal daily, but I don't always put down like what I'm grateful for in the sort of, I guess sometimes I'm like, I am grateful for, and then other times it sort of comes out in other ways. But, anyways, what I'm getting to is what are you grateful for? What do you want to be grateful for? So, if you journal in the morning, maybe that day look for 3 things that you're going to be grateful for so that the next morning or that night, you can jot those things down and hey, this happened today and this happened today. And you're going to find yourself waking up every day less and less like, ugh, what is today going to throw at me? If you're having a hard time and you're going through that lower vibrational state, doing a gratitude journal, having your positive affirmations, setting some positive intentions. Maybe you light a candle, maybe you have a ritual, cleanse your crystals, have some positive intentions of what you're actually going to do and then take some action with it. Number 5, physical touch and closeness. One of my favorites. So physical touch, such as hugging, holding hands, cuddling. This can really help synchronize your energies and raise your collective vibration. So like I said earlier, sharing a bed, I believe is absolutely very, very important when you can, unless there's, medical conditions or something else going on. I get it. But if you can, don't purposely choose to sleep apart. That's where I'm getting at, I guess. That's my opinion, of course. But I'm sticking to it. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Sleep with your damn partner. But this physical connection, it definitely enhances your emotional bond. And sometimes, it's just, you just need some skin on skin. Don't even need to do anything like, you don't even need sexy time. You just need to have some skin on skin, and that will transfer your energy. Number 6. So this is, I guess this is like the last one I have here. And at some point, these kind of branch off into other things, but nature and physical activity, this is the one I really am needing to work on. But spend time in nature, engage in physical activities together. We used to actually, oh gosh, it was about 4 years ago. We were going to the gym 3-4 times a week in the evening and staying there till pretty late. We'd be there for a couple of hours. And man, we just felt so good. We were just both felt really great, high vibration a lot of the time. And, but it's hard. It was hard to stay disciplined. Things hurt. Our joints hurt at times, but we really enjoyed doing that together. And now we have sort of replaced that with less physical, which we would like to start getting back into a little bit more physical, but we do more of like the karaoke, and that raises our vibration. But I guess I'm kind of trying to make an excuse for not getting out there and doing some physical activity, but we do definitely need to pick that portion of this list that I've compiled. These are all for me. I'm constantly working on everything that I talk about on this podcast. I have worked on it like crazy, and I'm constantly working on it. So I'm right there with you, maybe just a few steps ahead of some people and maybe a few steps behind of some others. But, I think we're all in this together. It's always a conscious effort, right? To work on yourself and work on your marriage. Let's get back. So the nature and the physical activity, I just think it's super important to get out there. Even just the vibration you feel when you're out in nature. Like I said, I walk on our grass and bare feet. I get grounded. I walk in our backyard. I'm grateful that we are in the country and we have a lot of land. And, just getting out there sometimes, it helps to reset your own vibration. While the movement releases stagnant energy, and that will promote, a positive flow, of energy. So get out there, go for a walk, go and, go horseback riding, go do something, go jogging. If you're an active person, go to the gym, do something that, hey, go paintballing, go do something fun, kayaking. I want to go paddleboarding. I have never been paddleboarding. I'm afraid that I'm not strong enough in my core yet. So I haven't really done a whole lot of core activity since I had major abdominal surgery about a year ago. I'm a little embarrassed to say that, but that's where I'm at. So anyways, does anybody paddleboard? Does anybody kayak? Let me know. Reach out. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about you. Tell me about your lives. What do you and your husband like to do together? That's fun. That's out in nature, outdoors. Drop me a line. Send me an email. Anyways, as we wrap up, um, understanding and tuning into the energies and vibrations within your marriage, you can create a more empathetic, communicate. Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna be able to say this word. Communicative. There we go. Here we go. It's late and it's been a long couple of days for me. So I do apologize. This might get edited. This might not. Let's try that one more time. You can create a more empathetic, communicative, and harmonious relationship. And it's about being mindful of the unseen forces that influence your connection and using that awareness. That's the key. Okay, using your awareness. You're not always going to be perfect, but that will often help with just fostering a deeper, more loving bond. Just start being more aware. So thank you for joining me today on the Intuitive Marriage Podcast. I rambled on a little bit today. It's a bit longer, and I may edit some of it out. I might not. I'm not sure yet. So if it's too annoying, let me know, and I'll work on the editing. But I hope everybody has a great night. If you found this episode insightful or fun or helpful in any ways, please leave a review. It will help the show grow. And share it with your partner and start exploring the powerful impact of energies and vibrations in your relationship. So until next time, beautiful souls, stay connected and trust your intuition. Bye for now.